All right, we are live. It is great to be here with you. It's another Friday with the coach as we are prepping up for our boot camp in 2 weeks. Don't forget, we are going to be broadcasting live at least one day. And if it works out, we may actually broadcast 2 days live from the boot camp. Short broadcast, but we want to show you what you're missing if you're not going to be there. But I know you're not going to be missing anything, right? I'm excited, fired up again. I've been networking this morning already, and we're ready to go with today's subject. Let me just do a couple of things here. We're hoping to have a guest with us today, but some things came up at the last moment, so I'm not sure he's going to be here with us. But if you did miss Brad today, we'll put him on another hangout in the near future. Have no fear. And of course, he's going to be there at the boot camp with us. I'm excited to be here today because this is our subject, CRM. Now, I've been thinking about what could I come up with to be funny when I talk about CRM. What does CRM stand for? You know, critical relationship management. Well, could, but it's customer relationship management. Let me just put that up there because believe it or not, sometimes I think everybody in the world knows what CRM is, and it's a fallacy because so many people, bright, intelligent, well-versed people don't know what CRM is. So if you're going to talk about CRM, make sure that you all right, let me just do one more thing here and make sure I have this correctly. We're trying to do something differently. This is actually the first time we have done live guests on our events. So you got to hang with me. Not sure we have it all figured out yet, so we're going to try to do it the best we can. There we go. So I'm just going to put this invitation out there to make sure I can get Brad on here if he's listening. All right, so we go here and bam. Okay. And that's it. All right, so we're ready now. Let me talk about CRM until Brad gets here, and he's much better than I am, so I'm going to let him take over if he comes, and if he doesn't, well, we're still going to give you a good push on CRM because CRM is what we need. And so the question that most people always ask me is what? What is CRM, Manny? What is CRM in your opinion? Now, remember, there are so many different definitions for CRM, but I'm going to give you the simplest definitions today. And number one is, above all else, CRM is a repository for information on your connections, whether they be customers, whether they be prospects, whether they be suspects. It's a repository. It's one place where I can hold all information about a customer. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use my CRM system to do some demonstration and show you some of the stuff with CRM that we're working with. And the system that we're going to be showing you is Infusionsoft. Now, whether you like it or you don't, I just happen to use Infusionsoft. I personally recommend it, and I happen to think it's probably one of the better tools out there, if not the best tool for the small business owner. Now, you got to understand, the target here is small business owners doing $1 million or less. This is a tremendous tool. It is at the high end of the price scale. But let me just take you there real quickly. I'm going to share my screen with you to show you a little bit about this. And again, stick with us. We tried screen sharing last week, and it worked quite well. So we'll see if we can do it again this week. Yes, this should be it. And share. Okay, what you see in front of you now is one of the initial screens when you go into a system like Infusionsoft. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look up my record because I don't like to put anybody else out there when I'm doing this. So, and I have, you know, all kinds of records out there that I want to use. So, whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. So let's go back there. Let's see. So you can see all these, and the reason they're all in there, I'm trying to find one with last name. There we go. Okay. So if I pull this record up, you can see this is CRM. Now, CRM has a big history. It, you know, you can go, I used Act for years. Act is a great tool, still out there. I used Pipeline Deals for years. I was one of the original, probably the original 1,000 users of Salesforce at the company when I worked for CSI, because we needed a national tool and there wasn't a whole lot. So I've used a lot of these tools. I've worked with Sugar. I'm trying to think of what else. There's a variety of them out there right now, and I've either used or helped clients with many of them. But this is the one we're going to show you today because it'll show you everything I need. And what you see is it tells me all the information I need about my customer. It tells me the social media contacts. It tells me where they live, where they work. It tells me how much business I've done with them this year. A real CRM system is complete. It does it all. So please understand that. It does it all. From this stuff right here to some other things that we're going to share. So let me go back over here. Okay, I should be back live with you. And I don't have Brad with me yet. So, okay, let me keep going. The next thing a CRM system can do for you is schedule and automate. And this is why I bought Infusionsoft. It's why I invest the money in CRM, because these, to me, are two of the most important things that I need a CRM to do for me. It needs to keep my schedule in line, right? And it needs to allow me to automate as much as I can in as many ways as possible. And I'm going to show you some of that automation here. Let's go back and share the screen again so you can see this. Boom. Should be here. Whoop. Nope. Wrong one. Let's try it again. Jeez. Ideally, we should not leave all these screens open, right? But we'll get you there. You see why these things aren't sharing. And you can see I probably have way too much open today. And you can see some of it floating there. So what we want to do is share. Yeah, this should be the right screen. Yeah, okay. I must have clicked the wrong thing because I thought I clicked this screen. Okay, so what we can do, we talk about scheduling and automation. So I'm going to take you from here, and we'll get back to this screen in a little bit. But I want to take you over here to, where am I? Yep, marketing. And I want to talk about something called campaigns, because this is an automation thing that we do. Now you can see, those of you on my list out there, you can see right now I have a campaign called Boot Camp Marketing Campaign. Now, when I used to do boot camps, I would always start and I'd have to remember to send this email, this email, this email, this week, this. Now I don't do that anymore. I built a campaign here, and let me show you what the tool allows me to do. It allows me to set this up, and it's called a 2-week push. And every time I put one of you in this group, here's what happens. Now, I had to build this, but once it's built, the only thing I have to do is tag you, and we'll talk about tags in a minute, is tag you as being part of this group. So let me just show you a little bit more here. So what happens here is, once I tag you, you get sent these 5 emails over a 2-week period. And I know many of you probably have seen them. And each of these emails, you know, you get one as soon as I tag you, 2 days later, 4 days later, 3 days, and 4 days. So you get 2 weeks, bam, 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 just 5 emails, continuously different and continuously emphasizing something else that's going on in the boot camp. But you see this? I built this. Once you're done through here, or you have signed up for the boot camp, you're removed from here, and the campaign's over. This is automation. Now, let me show you a couple other things here. This is what CRM can do for you, and it is amazing because I have another one here. It's called a business owner one. Let's look at that one. Or actually, it's called business card. A business card is another campaign. This campaign, if you look at it, okay, here we go. It's a 37-day campaign. And when I meet somebody new and they say, I say, can I send you some email? They say, fine. So I then put them in here. And what this does is, I used to just put people on my list, like some of you do out there today, and I know you're not supposed to, but people do it. Now, what I do is I want to make sure they're opening and they're really interested. So I run them through this campaign over 37 days. It sends them a series of 5 emails asking them if they want to join the list. It may tell them about some of the things. It offers them a free book and those kind of things. If they don't want to join the regular list, then at the end, they just get thrown on a monthly, once a month list, and that's it. But again, I build it. I scan your business card with my phone, taking a picture, put you in here, and unless you take some action, I don't do anything. And that, I want to tell you, I'm excited about that because that's what makes this thing really rock and roll when you think about it, because what I'm doing now is I am automatically taking care of the processes. So what else does CRM do for you? It allows you to do analysis. And this means that I can look at the patterns of my customers. Because what I didn't show you, and let's go back over here one more time. There we go.
Hey, Manny.
Oh, is that Brad on the line now?
Yeah, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm just trying to teach people here about something about CRM, but I'm going to let you have a few minutes to do some of that.
Well, these people that are going to be coming to your workshop, I hope they do come, because we're going to give them some nice tips on CRM and how to use it to improve their cycle from marketing to sales and customer service. Learn some of the tools that are out there and how to make them work for you to generate more revenue.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Let me see. Okay. All right. Can I get you visually? Maybe I can't.
No, I'm having an issue with my camera here. I'm a technology guy and I'm struggling with technology.
That's okay. We got you audit. Is there, and so what I've been kind of teaching people so far today is just a little bit on CRM, on the repository end, on the campaigns and things like that. Maybe you could just share a few positives about why CRM is so critical to today's business owner.
Well, first of all, being able to track opportunities and knowing the timing of when and when you should be talking to people and what the messaging should be, I think is an important part of it. CRM itself, what it does is it gives you I always tell this to my clients, and that's that the only prospect that's a dead prospect is a prospect who you're going to their funeral, meaning they're really dead. So what CRM allows you to do, and the biggest strength of it, I think, is that you can set people up on these automated tracks where they are kind of, getting woken up every few months. I mean, how many of us collect leads and never really do anything with those leads? What CRM allows you to do is kind of put them in an unattended mode so that they're kind of going through your cycle. And by building out workflows and looking at your business, it's kind of, you put your business on autopilot. And, what I do with my leads is I take them, I put them into a track where, after I meet them 2 weeks later, they get a letter saying, hey, it was nice to meet you. And then 3 weeks after that, I might send them a survey that they fill out. And 2 weeks after that, I might come back again and ask them for, possibly an appointment, and then to try to convert that into other things. So what CRM really does is it kind of helps you manage the life cycle of a prospect to a customer to a satisfied customer. And by using other tools that are now available for CRM, things like social media and stuff like that, those tools that are available, now what ends up happening is you can actually gain intelligence on your customer. You can see what they're talking about, what things are of interest to them, so that when you do reach out to them, you're personalizing the experience. And the other thing I tell my clients is this, and that's that if you're not doing it, your competitors are. And what happens is, as you know, that most of your customers today, when you go to them, they're already smart. It's not like the old days. Because of the internet, and because of the things that are available, you're dealing with a much more educated and intellectual customer. So it's very important that when you are touching with him, you understand what his requirements are, what his needs are, and what's driving his buying decision. And by being able to listen in through social media and keep notes of your conversations with him and monitor your opportunities and send him things that are pertinent to his way of doing business, will inevitably convert to success in terms of your own sales. It's not that hard to get started with CRM. People get very overwhelmed with it, and they say, well, how do I do this and how do I keep this going? One of the things we'll show you in the boot camp is a real easy way to get a lead in and to just get them on a basic track so that you can begin to hopefully have higher conversion of leads to sales.
Great. And that's what we're hoping. That's why we brought Brad on today, because Brad's going to be doing a presentation for us. And, one of the questions I get a lot is, or one of the situations we see a lot, and one of the reasons people look to you is they get a CRM, and many times they may not get the right CRM, or they get it and they don't do anything with it. So
it's a good point. And this is what I tell my clients. CRM is a tool. Before you have the tool, you have to have the strategy in terms of how you want to use that tool. So what becomes really important is deciding before you buy that tool, how do you want to deal with your leads and your prospects and your clients, and what is your strategy to convert them? One of the reasons why I'm a duct tape marketing consultant as well. One of the reasons I got into developing marketing strategy was for that same reason. Sold a lot of CRM systems, and then customers would come back and say, okay, well, now what do I do? Well, it's one thing to have names in there, but it's like a big garbage can. You throw everything into the garbage can, and eventually you want something good to come out of it. And right now, all it is just collecting your garbage.
Yeah, that's really a great way to look at it, because that's what it is when you go into, I always tease people about the big pile of business cards they got sitting on their desk, but now people have a CRM, and all they've done is taken the business cards, put them into some electronic form, but still haven't done anything with it. And CRM can go the gamut from a few dollars to many hundreds of dollars to even thousands of dollars if you're a bigger organization. So what you hear Brad talking about is you need a strategy of what is it really that you're going to do and how are you going to do it. And before you ever buy a product, would you agree with that?
Yeah, and then you purchase the tool, or then you use the tool once you have the strategy and you've defined how you want the interactions with people to go, how often. In other words, it's the workflow, right? You're going to design out. And what we do is we'll sit down and we work with the clients to kind of design out how they convert. What does their typical sales cycle look like? And we try to put as much automation to that as possible so that they can be out getting more people to drop into the top of the funnel. You know, it's interesting, but today the paradigm in selling has changed. It used to be, if I make enough phone calls and I knock on enough doors, eventually I'll get some sales. But the way that it works today is people need to know you, like you, and trust you before they buy, try, and repeat and refer. And in order to do that, then you need to be in front of them. You need to be giving them content that demonstrates that you're an authority. And if you're in front of them too much, we all get the emails, right? We opt into something, and the next thing you know, we're getting bombarded with emails. Then it becomes noise, and we turn those people off. And if you're not in front of them enough, you're not relevant. So part of a good CRM strategy is using the CRM system to deliver valuable content to those prospects that you have, who will hopefully say, hey, you know what, when they're ready to buy, they're going to come to you because you're the expert. And as long as you're in front of them continually and they're familiar with who you are and what you're doing, when the time comes and they're ready to buy, they'll buy from you.
Yeah, and the automation of that is so interesting. I was just at an event this morning already, and a young lady was telling me that she found out a customer was looking to get proposals on exactly what she sold. Now and she had been connecting with the customer every 6 months or so, and she wasn't even on the list. And so it's, you know, that consistency of staying in front of your customers without bugging them. And, you know, we can't remember it, especially once you get more than 10 customers. How are you ever going to remember it? And you have this tool out there that does much of that for you.
Good. Well, I'm going to show you some tools. I'm going to show the people at the workshop and the boot camp some inexpensive tools, free tools that they can get started with. So there's very little risk for them. We'll talk about some of the all-in tools that not only have CRM, but as you mentioned, some of the other things, like being able to deliver those messages out and create landing pages and stuff like that as well. Because as you mentioned, there's a full gamut of solutions from the real inexpensive basic CRM contact management all the way up to these full life cycle systems that take you from marketing through conversion to even customer survey on the back end. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, we're looking forward to having you, and I'm glad you were able to join us today. It's always a pleasure, and you know, we try to get a few people on before we do the event, and those of you who are coming already, great. And I'm going to just share this link with you here. Coach Manny tip is just a way, will take you right to the description and buy-in page. If you're not coming to the boot camp yet, I encourage you to go out there and look. It is one of the great values. Brad's one of our speakers, and you know, I've been able to bring in some really good experts. You can always just Google MannyNowak.com. You know, you'll find some information. Anything you want to leave these guys with about CRM, about yourself, about what you're doing?
Well, if they don't come, they're going to be missing a lot, so they better show up.
There you go. Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome. Nice talking to you.
You too. All right. I think that's going to wrap us for the day. Again, we'll share this with you. Coach Manny tip. You heard Brad. He's an expert. He knows the CRM market as good as anybody out there in the country. And he's always somewhere in the country helping people. So getting that kind of information, especially if you're in a CRM system or you're looking at a CRM system or you're just not sure, then you got to come and let Brad help you, because that's what we're talking about. And of course, at the boot camp, we're going to be talking about all kinds of tools. We got some great people coming, everything from content to networking to social media. It's all going to be there. And CRM is that hub that sits in the middle. You know, It's always a pleasure to be with you. I've enjoyed it. I always have a blast sitting here talking to you. And who knows what our subject. Oh, next week. Yeah, next week we're going to have Howard on, and we're going to be talking about that whole social media thing. And Howard's going to be doing actually 2 presentations at the boot camp. So are you ready? It's October. There's a big year coming out next year, and it's going to be your best year ever. So you got to get in the game here, and the boot camp is a great way. Let me just share a link with you one more time. If you're watching this recorded, of course, you're going to see the links and everything at the bottom. But if you're live with us today, get in there and sign up today. I love to have you. Get your CRM rolling, get your business rolling, get your funnel full, and make 2016 the best year ever. Thank you, and have a great day. Change the world and make it a better place.